It is now December, and in the Northern Hemisphere winter is approaching. Many of us remember making paper snowflakes in school. It starts by folding a corner of a piece of paper down to the side, creasing it sharply and cutting the bottom off in order to make a square. Then you fold it in half and fold the half into quarters, and finally fold it diagonally into eighths. Cut out a V shape out of the top. Then along the left and right hand sides cut out roughly triangular shapes at random. When you unfold it, you have a snowflake. I thought it might be interesting to 3D print something like that, and realized that the process of folding and unfolding can be replicated in FreeCAD fairly easily. So let's do that. Start as usual in the part workbench and create a sketch on the XY plane. Switch to construction geometry. Create a square centered on the origin. I want it to be 60 millimeters by 60 millimeters. It's not quite the size of the old paper snowflakes, but I'm thinking I might like it as an ornament and don't want it to be too large. Switch back to real geometry and with the polyline tool, sketch out a triangle from the origin to the upper right-hand corner, to the center of the page on the y-axis, and back to the origin. This will be a guideline for the rest of our design. Close the sketch. Switching to the top view will make it more clear. Next, I want to create the arms of the snowflake, but I'm going to create them with nothing cut out yet. Select the diagonal line of our triangle and create a new sketch. Map it normal to that line. Looking closely, you can see the triangle from the first sketch extending out along the x-axis to the left. Create an arc between the y-axis and the x-axis extending into that first sketch's triangle. Be sure to fix the center of the arc to the y-axis. That forces the top of the arc to be perpendicular to the y-axis, so that when the extrusion is mirrored, the arcs will smoothly meet at the peak. Make sure the end point of the arc is attached to the x-axis. To create a closed wire, with the polyline tool, sketch from the end point on the x-axis to the origin and up to the end point on the y-axis. Select the dimension tool and the horizontal line we just created and constrain it to 4 millimeters. Close the sketch. The sketch needs to be extruded to the exact length of the line it is attached to. Rather than eyeballing it or using the Pythagorean theorem to get to it, I'm going to let FreeCAD do the math. Open the first sketch again. Select the dimension tool and the diagonal line. The lines of the sketch turn orange because this would over-constrain the sketch. Check the reference box on the constraint and the lines turn back to green since this is no longer a driving constraint. The callout for the constraint turns blue to indicate a reference constraint. I'll set the name of the reference to long len. For completeness' sake, repeat the process on the vertical line and call it short len. Close the sketch. Now select Sketch 001 and extrude. The length field of the extrude dialog doesn't have any way to enter a formula, so just take the default 10 millimeters for now. Select the extrude and in the length forward field of the data pane, set a formula. -sketch.constraints.longlen. Whoops, the minus key bounced and gave me negative length. I'll get rid of one of the minuses. Much better. Now for the other arm. Open the extrude, select Sketch 001 and create a draft clone. This both saves the effort of drawing the sketch again and makes the design more parametric since the clone will follow any changes made to the sketch. Hide the extrude for a moment to get a clear visual on things. Select the clone and in the data pane map mode, bring up the mapping dialog. Select the vertical line as the basis of the mapping. The attachment mode defaulted to normal to edge, which is correct. Rotating the design a little bit, that looks like exactly what we want. Close the mapping dialog. Extrude that clone of the sketch exactly as we extruded the sketch. Same formula as last time, only use short lin. Unhide the first extrusion. This is more or less what we want, but over towards the origin we have those unwanted bits of the extrusion sticking out. Fortunately, the guide sketch defines the area for the extrusions to be in. Select that first sketch and extrude. Just take the default 10 millimeters. Select the first two extrudes, the arms of the snowflake, and fuse them. Select the fusion and extrude 002, the bounding extrusion, and Boolean common. That's exactly the shape we want. You may note that it looks exactly like the shape of the paper after it's been folded 3 times and the V shape has been cut out of the top. The only difference is the arcing contour that we need because we're bringing this into the 3rd dimension, or really more like 2.5 dimensions, much like the jack-o'-lantern design for Halloween. But that's a pretty boring snowflake. It needs the cutouts. Create a new sketch on the XY plane. Bring in the edges of the shape as external geometry. Draw the triangular cutouts into the sides just as we used to do with the scissors, possibly even safety scissors. Make sure to close each of the triangles at the bottom. Note one of the useful features of the polyline tool is that once you close the wire, it assumes you're done with that wire, so you can just move on to the next piece you wish to draw. When you have the cutouts you want, close the sketch. Now extrude that sketch to the default 10 millimeters. Select the common and the new extrusion and cut. Now we have a shape much like the cutout paper. It's time to unfold it. Of course, we don't have the option to unfold literally, so select the cut, select mirror, and now select one of the planes along the edge. FreeCAD can be a little stubborn about this, but with care and possibly zooming, it will select. Click OK, and that's one of the folds open. Now open up the mirror in the model tree and select that mirror and the cut and fuse. Now repeat the process. Select the fusion and mirror again. Select the plane along the fusion and OK. Again open up the mirror and select the mirror and the fusion and fuse again. Repeat the process one more time with that fusion and we have our snowflake. A nice thing about the way this is designed is that with the exception of the unconstrained cutouts, this is a parametric model. The design looks pretty nice, but I think that the arms of the snowflake are just a little bit too thin and will likely be fragile. So open up the sketch that defines the profile of the arms and try raising the center of the arc a little bit. That seems to help some, but I'd like to control it more tightly. So dimension the vertical line at the peak of the curve and set it to 3 millimeters. This reveals that it's not properly constrained to the origin. I'll fix that now and close the sketch. That's looking a little bit more robust. But looking at it now, the cuts on the outsides of the arms are really not aesthetically what I was looking for. I'll save the design as it is before I make further changes. Open up the sketch that defines the cutouts. I suppose I should maybe rename it, but I'll deal with that later. Remove the cutouts for the outside edge and close the sketch. It takes just a moment to recompute, and there we have it. Because the model is parametric, it might be good to make several variations with different cutouts. If you have any kids in your life, it might be fun to let them help you decide what cutouts to put in the different designs. From there you could stick a torus at the end of one of the arms. I would suggest one of the diagonal arms, so that you can hang it on a tree or in a window. Or you could stick a pin backing on it and make a pin for the season. I think I'm going to print some using a roll of clear Polylite PETG I have on hand, and maybe spray them with a little glitter spray from the hardware store. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video or found it useful, please like, subscribe, and share. If there's anything you'd like to see covered here, please let me know in the comments below.